Hey, YouTube, is Goddess T's Journey. I'm gonna do my first story time. I'm gonna talk about the time I went out with my drunk friend from high school, and I'm gonna have a surprise ending to the story. What happened? It's gonna be fun. So I knew this girl from high school, and she was like, when I met her, I was like a sophomore in high school, and she was like a junior. So by the time I was like a senior, she had already graduated already by then. So after that, she graduated. I really didn't see her again because, back in the days, even though I had a job, I didn't have a cell phone. I was like saving my money for school and stuff like that. So I didn't have a cell phone when I was working, when I was in school. So I didn't have a cell phone at the time. So I couldn't really keep her number and keep in contact with her. So, time went past and then I graduated. Then I went to the other college in Philly. And then, like, when I was on summer vacation, I bumped into her on the train, the 2 train. I was like, oh, hey, girl. And my name, I'm just going to call myself Goddess. I'm going to call her Kimmy. I was like, oh, hey, Kimmy, what's up, girl? She was like, oh, hey, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. I said, me either. I said, oh, we should catch up so we exchanged numbers. By then, I had a cell phone, so we exchanged numbers and we kept in contact. And she's like, oh, let's hang out. So I hung out with her, like, a couple of times, with her friends from college because she went to school upstate, and I went to school in Philly. So she went to school upstate. I was like, okay, girl. I said, that's interesting. So she was telling me about, they would be playing these little drinking games. So I hung out with her a couple of times with some of the people from her college. She went to school as predominantly white. It was only a small percentage of black people at her school. So I was like, okay, girl. My school was mostly black. You really didn't see no white people, period, at the time. So I was like, okay, girl. So I hung out with them one time and they were playing this game called FU, some card game, and then you drink or something, and it was kind of fun. I was drinking. I was like, ooh, dang, ah. And around this time it was summertime, so it was real hot. I had a perm. This was back when I was still perming my hair and stuff. It was hot. I did my own perm myself. Why did I do that, man? It was so hot. I should have just forgot about it. But anyway, that's beside the point. So we were drinking. I had a good time with her friends. I hung out with like 4 of her friends from school. And then I hung out with her one other time again with some of her friends or whatever. And she was telling me how she had a white boyfriend. She just loved her boyfriend and all this other stuff. So one day I was like, oh, girl, we should go out somewhere like to like a lounge or to a club or whatever. And she already told me like stories about how, like one story she told me about how, she when she's upstate, she be drinking to the point where she black out and she fall out. And her boyfriend got to pick her up off the floor and she don't even know, what's going on. I'm just like, really, girl? Okay, girl. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, okay, I guess. I was like, for real? I was like, you serious? She was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I said, okay, girl, you gotta be careful with that. She was like, yeah, my man's around, so, he protects me. And I was like, okay. So we decided to go to Webster Hall. Webster Hall is like a known like club. It's not that big of like a club, like a big time club. But on Thursdays, it's free for the ladies all night long. So I said, me and her trying to be cheap, save our money, because I was, there chilling, you know. So we went, and, while we got on the 2 train to get down there, everybody knows the 2 train. And then when we got off the 2 train, we walked to Webster Hall, and Webster Hall has a whole bunch of floors. Like they had back then, I think 4 floors. I think 4 floors from what I remember. 1, 2, 3. No, I think it was 3 floors. 3 floors. 3 floors. So they had different kinds of music. One floor was like, you had regular hip hop. Then another floor, you had old school. Then another floor, you had different kind of like, R&B music. So we were having fun, and and while we were walking, she's telling me, "Oh, girl, girl, I drink. Sometimes when I drink, I have to pee a lot." I said, "Just go to the bathroom a whole bunch then, and hopefully tonight you'll be good, right?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. I'm not gonna drink too much tonight." Okay, I was like, "Okay, girl." So we get there. We waited in line. People was there early because people trying to make sure they can get in and stuff. So we get there. We get in. We go. And then we have drinks. So I had 2 drinks and a shot because I don't want to be spending too much money. So I had a screwdriver, a screwdriver. That's orange juice and vodka. And then I had a cranberry vodka because I used to like vodka a lot back in the days because I really didn't drink that much when I was just started off drinking when I dealt with her. Just started off drinking, so I was just getting used to it. And after, and I wasn't a person that could tolerate too much alcohol, so after a while I was just like ooh, ooh. And then she had vodka straight, and then she had like a cranberry vodka, and they were giving her a lot of vodkas in hers because she was paying the person that was making the drink extra tips so that she could get like these really strong drinks. And then we had some dark liquor shot of I'll just say a dark shot, dark liquor shot. I can't remember the liquor though. I'm trying to remember what liquor we had. I can't remember it. Sorry. Because I'm trying to think about it. But I digress. We had a shot of alcohol and we took one together. I think it's brandy. I'm going to say we have a shot of brandy because I think it was something like that. So we had a shot of brandy together. We was like, ooh, let's take a shot. I was like, well, I'm good, girl. And then after that, I was good. So she kept drinking. She was having more drinks and she was switching from vodka, and then she switched to dark liquor and she started taking brandy and different alcohols. So I was like, okay, girl, you sure? And then, I stepped away for a second because we were on the first floor listening to the music and dancing and stuff and having us a good time. So I went to the restroom. I was like, girl, you want to go? No, I'm good. I said, okay. So then after I used the bathroom, I walked up the steps to the second floor just to see what the second floor like. I walked on there, I felt the vibe. I was like, okay, cool. I went to the third floor, I felt the vibe, and then I was dancing to music and I met some guy up there. I was like, oh, hey, how are you? He's like, oh, hey, how are you? I was like, I'm good. Yeah, I'm trying to go downstairs with my friends, so I want to get lost. He said, okay. He came downstairs with me. We went back to the first floor, and I was looking for her, so I was dancing with him, and she was drinking more liquor, and she was dancing with somebody. So we were dancing. I was walking, and I found her, and me and him were dancing together, and I was dancing kind of closer to her, and she was, like, kind of close to the stage, actually. So we were dancing. I was having a good time with this guy. And then I actually, when I went closer to the stage with her, we were having a good time dancing to all the latest songs and stuff back in days. Okay? And this is around like 2010, I would say the year. So 10,
like 2008.
So we danced and we near the stage, and then I actually saw a guy I used to talk to from before. I was like, oh, hey, what's up? How you doing? He was like, oh, hey, how you doing? I was like, oh, okay, I'm chilling, I'm good. And I was dancing with this guy, whatever, and I was having a good time. But then she's like, oh, we need to go. So the guy that I was dancing with, I had to get he's like, I gotta go, because she was like rushing me. She was in a rush for whatever reason. I don't know why she was in a rush. It seemed like she was really plastered a little bit. So I guess she wanted to go home. So it was like midnight, something like that. So me and the guy that I was dancing with, we exchanged numbers. And I was like, okay, girl. So we were walking. And we walked outside. Did you have fun? She's like, yeah, girl, I had a good time. So while we were walking, she's like, oh, I think I used the bathroom. I said, oh, we could just go back inside to Webster Hall and you can use the bathroom. She's like, oh, no. I said, okay, let's walk. So we walked a couple of blocks down. And then there's a McDonald's. I said, let's go inside. You could just use the bathroom. And then she was like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess. So we walk in. I say, you sure? Because we could just went to McDonald's. I could have just bought me a sandwich or bought me a drink, and then you could have used the restroom. Okay. Oh, no, I'm good. So as we're walking in the train station, because we're about to get on the train so we can go home because it's nighttime, after the club. Sometimes the train gets crowded in New York. So I'm walking with her, and we're walking. I say, you sure, girl? She said, nah, I'm good. She's really drunk, though. She's, like, really drunk, though. So we're, like, walking. I'm good, because I only had 3 drinks. I had that one dark shot with her and then the 2 drinks. And I'm good. She had more than, like, 5 drinks. She was having a fun time. I'm like, okay. So we're walking. We're walking past people. And then all of a sudden, I just hear, like, I'm walking, I don't see her, and I'm looking, and all I hear is, psst. And I look, and she pissed on herself. I said, really, girl? This is me. I'm like, I've always wore glasses since I was a kid, so I was just like, really, girl? come on. I told her not. And you heard me during the story. How many times I asked her about like as soon as we left out, she said she had to use the bathroom. I told her let's just go back in Webster Hall. I asked her a couple times when we were near McDonald's. She said no. I asked her again in the train station. She still said no. And then all of a sudden there. So then we get on the train. I said, oh Lord, now I gotta be on the train with her. So we get on the 2 train to go back uptown, to go back home to the Bronx. And this girl, she falls asleep. So she like this, falling all everywhere because she fucked up. She decides she want to fall asleep on the train. I'm just like, so I'm stopping her from falling on her face, pulling her over here because, you know, train is moving. So I'm pulling her this way, pulling her that way. And I'm just looking like, this chick right here. So I had to keep on making sure she didn't fall and hurt herself. And then when we got to the stop, I got off at her stop to make sure she got safe. And then I walked with her out of train stations. And I said, girl, you need to get in a cab, girl. You falling all over the place. You need to get home safe. So she got off and got in the cab. And I said, let me know when you get home safe. And then I got back in the train station and I went home. And I just was like, oh, Lord, that child was something. I couldn't believe it. I'm just like, girl, you doing too much. I couldn't believe it. I just was like, girl. I was just looking at her like, for real though. And then I texted her, I was like, are you home safe? You good? And she's like, I'm home. I said, okay. I said, girl, you gotta be more careful and stuff. Goodness. And after that, like, I think I went out with her a couple more times. I went to a reggae club with her, and she was getting OE plastered there. And then I think I went out with her. I actually tried to go out with her one more place when I changed my school and went back to New York. And I went to school in New York, and then I tried to go out with her one other time, and then she got all mad or whatever because she wanted to go to the place that I went to. But I was like, excuse me, first of all, the party didn't happen because we were supposed to go to like this party, a house party with somebody, but then the house party didn't happen. So I told her, heads up, she got all mad, and she's like, oh, I won't be friends with no more. And I was like, girl, that's not the reason why you don't want to be friends, but by all means, you doing me a favor because I was more of a friend to you anyway than you were to me. Have a good life. Bye, girl. I don't sweat the small stuff. When people don't want to be my friend, I just be like, that's a loss for you because I was her real friend. Because the quiet as the cat, like, she was the one that was like getting too plastered and acting a fool and embarrassing herself. So it's just like, that's not my fault. Like, the party didn't happen. You don't want to believe me. And I literally didn't go to the party for real. And then like I roomed with a girl on campus that lived there, and I just stayed overnight there. But I didn't want her coming because, you know, she has the thing about saying negative things about, you know, Jamaican people and people from West Indies, and my friend is West Indian, so that wouldn't have went over too good. If she would have been making those kind of jokes around her, she would have got cursed out. So just like, to avoid the problem, that's why I didn't want her to come. And then part of it was we didn't go to the party, so it was no point of her going. So yeah, that's my first story time about my drunk friend from back in the days, you know. And anybody got a comment, subscribe, tap the bell, and you can make some suggestions in the comment area. And thank you for watching my first story time video, because I'm Goddess C. And thank you for watching my videos, and have a good day, YouTube. Bye.